Howdy guys, welcome back to the Ebright Family Homestead. Welcome to the garden. So, this year was even worse than last year for me neglecting the garden. Fortunately, it still grows even if it's neglected. So I figured this is probably going to be my last video. Because this weekend I'm probably going to start tearing stuff out. Let me flip you around. I'll show you the disaster that we have. And really, I just kind of let it go so crazy that it's just not an enjoyable place for me this year. So I have lots of improvements that I want to make for next year. And I think that's definitely going to help me keep up with it just a little bit better. So let me flip you around. I have stopped watering. That's my first confession to make. We got like 3 inches of rain one day and I just haven't watered again, so everything is dying. We have gotten rain a couple times since then, so stuff has not gone completely without, but watermelon, I still have 6 on this side that need to be picked, and there's a lot more on the other side. This is the tomato plant side that I did not do anything with. I didn't even attempt to tie it up. I started going through it and literally just grabbing the tops of the plants and cutting them off. If there was no tomatoes on that part or up, I was snipping it. Now that I've done that, I have a lot of tomatoes that are sunburnt. So they're like turning white. I'll show you when I walk around to the other side, but a negative feature of letting it grow wild was there was a critter of some sorts living in there, or is living in there, and eating a lot of the tomatoes. So I lost a lot of tomatoes to whatever that critter was. So this side I kind of tied up, and so you can still walk through here, and it's not so bad. I still have lots of tomatoes. Lots of tomatoes are green still. Pepper plants, I have not picked a whole lot off of the pepper plants, and honestly, some of them don't even have a single pepper on them. Look at that thing. It's huge. That one's even bigger. There's another really big one there. And then I don't know what this big tall one was, but he has like a zillion sunflower heads on him. They're not quite 2 of me tall, but they're definitely 2 grandkids tall. The grasshoppers, that's another fight that we had this year, you guys, is the grasshoppers. So, yeah. All right. But yeah, I mean, we've got some nice size bell peppers in there. And they're another one where, honestly, all I'm going to do is pull all the peppers off of it and pull the plant. And then, boom, we'll be done. That's what I did last year, for the most part. Look at all these marigolds. They would have been so beautiful if I would have kept the weeds out of them. But like I said, pretty much all my flowers are dead. The cucumbers, I won't be putting cucumbers back in these beds. These daisies, these were the white and blue ones. Those I think were like a maroon, purple. They're still hanging on just a little bit. This bed's pretty much dried up. The green beans, these are dragon's tongue. So I did plant some of those. But otherwise, I didn't even pick any beans this year. I just let them all go because the grasshoppers got them. So, yeah, I suppose I could pull some of the pods and keep the beans for planting next year. Oh look, there's a watermelon all the way over here. I don't know that he's gonna have enough time to really grow, but so on this side when I was trimming stuff up, I got over here and I thought, oops, sorry, that's dirt. There should not be dirt. So I don't know if I really showed you guys. There's more dirt there. There's probably a 5-gallon pail's worth of dirt easy over here. And so I know that there was dirt because we put these wood posts in, but I used that push broom to clean most of it out of here, because if I would have taken care of the garden as I intended to, see if I can back out of here without stepping on anything I don't want to step on. When I tie up the tomatoes and I prune them, I sit down and I just scoop my butt down the row. So I know that I cleaned that dirt up, and I wouldn't have wanted it in there. So there's like maybe a 3-foot section there in the middle where I did not get. And really it was just because I was wondering what I was going to find, and I was afraid of finding it being out here by myself. So that's kind of where I stopped. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I probably have 14 more watermelon over here. So I'm trying to remember how many I sold last week. Probably about that. So that this weekend might be the end of the watermelon, which will be okay by me. I'm always afraid of them going bad on me by me just storing them, so we don't want that. Oh, I have a cantaloupe that fell off over there. Need to go get that. So a lot of these watermelon have white spots on them, and I'm assuming it's from the sun. So they need to be harvested. Maybe tomorrow night I can get the girls to come out here with me, and we can just bring the wagon over and just be done with it. Oh, okay. Cantaloupe. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's the garden. All right, well, that was the end of the garden. I know this year it's kind of a little bit of a hot mess, but it's okay. It still grew stuff. The tomatoes, I've actually probably pulled 40 pounds worth of tomatoes out, which in all reality is probably not that much. It was enough to do salsa and whatnot. I'm sure I probably would have had an even better harvest if I would have pruned them, tied them up, but I just didn't prioritize it like I should have this year. I don't regret not doing it, but I should have done better. I should have treated it better. Watermelon, my last count was over 60. We have just under 30 left to sell. So that's good. Especially considering I think we pulled the first ones out 2 weeks ago, so that's not bad at all. Bell peppers, I'm gonna pull those all out this weekend. I'm just gonna pull the plant, pull the bell peppers, something in that tree. And then I will cut them up and freeze them or something. Last year we took bell peppers, onions, baby corn, water chestnuts. I feel like there was something else, and we kind of just made I don't know, we cut it up and froze it, and we use it in stir fries. So we can just add our protein to it and then make some rice or noodles or whatever. And that worked out pretty slick, having that. I don't know what that is. So, but my goal is to get everything cleaned out of here. And maybe if I get myself to do 20 minutes a day out here, I can get some stuff pulled. My biggest struggle with pulling everything out of here is not the act of pulling it. I actually enjoy sitting out here and pulling weeds or cutting weeds or whatever. It's getting rid of everything that I pull, because where I want all the weeds and stuff to go is back by the tree grove, which is like that way, all the way that way. And so that's the unpleasant part. That tomato was for a chicken, not for you. I had a partially rodent-eaten tomato and I threw it out in the grass. Now Hemi's enjoying it. He likes watermelon too, you know. Anyways, the plan for next year to try to prevent this disaster from happening again is to buy new ground cover throughout. Now, making this decision after Dale put in those wooden fence things, he's probably not going to be happy with me if I ask him to take them out. So we will see when it comes that time what decision we decide to make, because that will be on him. If he says cut the fabric and put it around it, that's what I'm going to do. But a lot of the reason for the weeds this year is the very first year we had the ground cover, I went a little overboard on holes and of how much I thought I could plant in this space. And so since then I've put this, I don't know, it's just a green plastic. It's a thick green plastic. I cut little patches of it and stuck it in the holes to try to cover it, but weeds will find a way. And so they've kind of taken over. Or even, I think it's called Johnson grass. It like grows and roots and grows and roots and grows and roots, and it's just, you just can't kill it. So hopefully next year will be better, because I have had a nice little reality check on how much can fit in this garden. So, but I suppose it is dark out. I need to go inside. I need to go out the other side of the garden and pick the other cantaloupe that's sitting over there. Hopefully no chickens have found it. But yeah, it's kind of nice and peaceful out here, actually. I also need to go get eggs yet. Like I said, it's dark. So I gotta go find a flashlight so I can do that. They lay in parts of the barn where there is not sufficient light. And you just want to be careful where you stick your finger. All right, those are just birds. I feel a little bit better now. But, all right. Enough butts. It's time to call it a night. Thanks for wandering around the garden with me. I hope you guys have had a fabulous start to September. Have a good night.